All right. So I think I'll do one more here because I had something I wanted to that in my mind that I wanted to turn into a YouTube video. So I guess I could talk about it now. But I was thinking about a lot lately about um, a college education and how we use it here in America. And what I noticed a lot of is you have all the people who get the college education and they're like, well, I still can't find a job because you need experience and blah, 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 blah. That's all perfectly fine. But I feel like we do it wrong here in America because you basically send someone to school to get, and the school just teaches them from, kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade how to test and take tests and basically prepping them to go to college. And then when a lot of students go to college, and there's like research done on this, and I could pull some stuff up, but I am bloody exhausted and going to bed in a couple minutes, anyways. That I noticed, especially with a lot of my friends when I was in college, and including myself, that we're all pushed to go to college, go to college, go to college right out of high school, but you don't actually know what you want to do. So then there's a lot of people who drop out because they don't know what they actually want to do and what they want to go into for a degree because they don't know what they want to do for life work, or they take like what is it, general studies or a general like degree to try and fill the void because they don't know what to do. I feel like it would be more prudent to, after high school, take a couple years, a year or two most, going into what you think you might like and seeing if that's what you actually want to do and what you want to stick with. Like, I knew that I was really good with computers when I was younger, so I went into basic computer science because I didn't know what I wanted to do: IT, programming, networking, graphic design through computers or whatever. I'd never really thought about becoming a video game designer because that was really complicated and I couldn't grasp it. I could grasp it now. I'm older, I get it, but I just feel like the push and the force to get your kid through it to go into college or whatever, it's just not the right way to do it. I think there are some European countries where they're actually mandatory that they take time off after school to travel or figure out what they want to do. So when they go to college, they're not completely fucked because they don't know what they're supposed to be doing or what they want to do. They just know that they need to be doing it. And the other point of this that I want to bring up is like for the last 10 years, I was working at the same place, and I worked up from being like a regular operator, it was a manufacturing plant, to like I was a shift supervisor, and then I was in a process technician role, which turned into an engineering role. It was definitely an engineering role. I didn't realize that when I first started at doing this stuff, but then when I was looking for a job this past year, I realized that all of my skill sets were for engineering. But I didn't have the degree, so I was severely underpaid in what I was doing as an engineer. And it just brings up the point that people would come in with degrees, and I would have to teach them how to do the job. And you have a degree, smart people or whatever, but they just don't get the basics even of what you're doing in the sense of the real world job because it's not something that's actually taught because they just don't know. Every place is different where you work, right? So I feel like we undervalue in America people with actual real life skills. It's not so much in the older generations where they've been doing the same job for like 30, 40 years, so they get hired based off that experience. But I mean, this past year with COVID and everything, I lost my job because the job downsized and whatnot. And, I put down that I was process technician and engineer for a long time because that's what I was actually doing. And every time I was in an interview, it'd be like, oh, well, it's great that you have this experience and whatnot, but how about being a production associate? And it's like, no, I'm not a production associate. I don't mind that work, but it's not a good use of my skill sets. I'm an engineer. I do engineering. Yeah, you don't have the degree, you're not an engineer. Yeah, I am. I've been doing it for years. Um, so it took months and months and months, and like I was jobless for 9 months. I finally found a job as a quality for another plant just recently starting, and it's still under the threshold of what my knowledge base is and my skill sets are. Like the job's really easy compared to what I should be doing just from the knowledge that I have. But again, it's still the whole comes down to the, you don't have the degree, so we're not going to let you do the job. And I feel like that's really wrong because you cannot take away value from real world experience and real life experience. I it's great. I don't mind going back to school and getting the degree. It's just expensive, and I don't want to put myself through that, especially right now. I mean, COVID happened, and then I split my money with my ex because we were separated. So we took everything that we had and split it even. So, lost job, lost half the money that way because we split everything. And then there was a long time where I wasn't getting paid through unemployment because New York was having such an issue with the unemployment, everybody getting laid off because of COVID, while being told that I can't do a job that I wanted because I didn't have the degree, which was really dumb. It's just funny because anytime that I do get a job, I tend to grow quickly in roles because they're like, oh, this guy's got some serious knowledge, he really knows what he's doing. Yeah, you see that, but you weren't willing to give the chance in the first place because it didn't have the degree, and that just doesn't seem right. It's not right. It really isn't right. And I feel like there should be a restructuring to that and how college works and how trade skills work or real life experience on a job works in America. Now, is it always going to be like that? No. If I get like another 5 years um, into engineering under my belt, then I could throw up that I have like, almost 20 years of experience in engineering. And it'll be a lot easier to find a job that way, even without the degree. But the fact that I still have to wait and get into another engineering position and then keep continuing that experience or go to school, at this rate, it's both going to come out at the same time. So, which one is really better? I don't know. But either way, it's not fair. But then again, life's not fair, right? That's really all I wanted to say. Say goodnight, Shadow. Oh, look at you, you sleepy head. You're so pretty. Good night.